I think the Winnipeg Jets may possibly be in some deep trouble for the playoffs if they meet the St. Louis Blues.
How is that good news?
What? Good news. They are 10-2 in their Heritage Retro Jets blue this season. Remember what I was telling you? They got to bring back the 96 white jersey? If they wear that jersey for the playoffs, there's a chance. We saw them dust the Canucks in that jersey too this year.
I don't think it. God love you. They didn't do very well in the 1.0 jerseys. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I would do that. Look, they're the number one team in the league. The only thing that scares me about the Winnipeg Jets is they might win the President's Trophy, which is basically like hanging kryptonite around your neck. Like you might as well say, well, thanks, that was great. Looking forward to the banner being raised at the first game of the season to be President's Cup trophy win. Do you even know what the President's Cup looks like? Nobody does, because nobody cares. You're the best team in the league for the regular season? Great. What'd you do in the playoffs? Nothing? Then it was all for nothing.
Well, here's some more news for you. So they're most likely going to play the St. Louis Blues in the first round.
I prefer the Wild.
You know the last time that they played the St. Louis Blues?
Yeah, I remember it was 2019. It was the year the St. Louis Blues went on to win the Cup when Jordan Binnington was in net and he was a rookie. Yeah, I remember.
And who's in net this year for the Blues?
Jordan Binnington. But who was in the net for the Winnipeg Jets?
Connor Hellebuck.
Was he?
Yeah.
So I thought it was Pavlik.
Here's a stat for you. Connor Hellebuck has every single playoff win in Jets and Thrashers playoff history. If your name is not Connor Hellebuck, you have not won a game for this franchise in the playoffs.
In Thrashers? Oh, I guess as far as the whole franchise. Like he was never in a Thrasher jersey.
No, because the Thrashers got dusted in 4 straight by the Rangers. So
Gotcha.
Carletton and Chris Mason, or Hedberg were in net for those.
Right.
And then Pavlik got dusted in every single series. And then Hellebuck comes in, and that's when they started getting the wins together. But he has every single win in postseason history. But the only bad news, he's playing Jordan Winnington. The guy put the team on his back in 2019. We just saw what he did, the Four Nations Cup. This guy's a winner. This guy's a gamer. And they're going to be playing the Blues again. Same circumstances as 2019. This is the bad news.
I hear what you're saying. I'm not disqualifying it. I think the St. Louis Blues are getting a little too much credit for the way they've been playing lately. They're beating the teams they're supposed to, outside of the Montreal Canadiens, and that one was a good win. The rest of them are all teams they should be beating. They haven't gone up against a real world beater yet for me to say, yeah, they strung 9 wins in a row. Great. That's awesome. They're doing it at the right time. Teams get hot at the right time. I've talked about before where I say I'd rather see a team that's in the playoffs go through a losing streak, because every team has to go through a losing streak at some point throughout the regular season. That's just fact. It happens. When that happens is very important. Can you get streaky there? But the second that streak ends, then usually what happens? You lose 2, you lose 3, you lose 4 in a row before you start getting back into that algorithm of what you've been doing throughout the regular season. The Blues are getting way too much credit. Look at them at the first half of the season. That was not a great hockey team. Jordan Binnington was not a great goaltender. Is he heating up at the right time? Possibly, but the timing has to happen where the whole team does that. Have they done it over the past 10 games? Sure. I do not believe the St. Louis Blues are a threat to anybody.
Okay, but you sat here on this podcast and they should have started Aiden Hill at the Four Nations Cup because Binnington's blown it. And we got proven wrong.
Not necessarily start, but at least get a game.
No, you said to put him in when he already blown against the U.S. in the round robin game. You said put Aiden Hill in.
Put him in, see how he does. Right, Like give Binnington a rest. That's the reason why you brought 3 top-end goaltenders, but they stuck with Binnington. Hey, I was wrong. They rode Binnington and they won. That's fantastic. Great. Different game when it comes to the playoffs. Connor Hellebuck brought the U.S. all the way to the finals. He's never done that in the regular season.
But he needed a big save against who? Jordan Winnington.
So you like this face-off is what you're saying?
I think it's a goaltender's duel. I love the fact that they have one guy at the opposite end who's coming in as the 7th or 8th seed. The guy's got jam. He's got a cup. He's a winner. He's a playoff performer. He just did it against Hellebuck and Team Canada or Team USA at the Four Nations Cup. I don't know if you're the Jets, especially when they've gone 2-10 at home the last 12 home games in the playoffs, the Winnipeg Whiteout. It's going to be a great goaltending duel. It really is going to be a good one.
I think it's a different story this year for the Winnipeg Jets. And I know you've heard this song and dance before. I get it. But I love the additions they made at the deadline. They got Tanev back as they realized they missed him last year in the playoffs. They needed that spark down the wing. They got Luke Shen. He's a pothole in the middle of St. James Street in Winnipeg. He comes out of nowhere. You don't know why he's there, and he's bigger than you thought when you first looked at him.
Just like driving down Saskatchewan Avenue.
Dude, I'm telling you, the Winnipeg Jets are a threat this year. They are a threat. I don't care who they play in the first round, 5 games. Jets in 5. Pick anyone you want outside of the LA Kings.
The milk in the fridge was spoiled last year, slowly turning into 6-year aged ricotta.
It's yogurt. It's strawberry yogurt, and it's sweet.
It better be plain. Plain Greek yogurt. Nice and thick.
Hey, more hockey content. It might be old. It might be new. It might be a full episode. It might be a half episode. But you can click these boxes because who doesn't like clicking boxes?